Hello, everybody. My name is Carter Sauer, alongside my partner in One Stop Hockey Venture, Jonah Cooper. Today, I'm going to be taking you through our pitch and our website and kind of going through our mission statement and our goal as well. So, One Stop Hockey was created as a way to break down barriers to entry in the game of hockey itself. The whole reason we started this is because of how expensive it is for parents to try to get their child into hockey. Youth gear can range anywhere from $300 to $800, and if you want to get a little more crazy in terms of price, even up into the thousands just for youth to play. It's not even including adults. So One Stop Hockey was created to get parents to go, hey, let's get our kid in the game of hockey because it really is a fun game. And a lot of kids aren't able to access this game because of the barriers to entry in terms of pricing. So our whole goal with that was to say, hey, if you're 13 years old and you go, hey, I want to try hockey out, you go on One Stop Hockey, you buy a subscription for the gear, you get fitted, everything's safe, effective, usable. You get fitted, you try it for 2 months, you go, hey, hockey's not for me. All you're out is the cost of the rental, right? Whereas maybe you try it for 6 months and you go, hey, I still really like hockey. And then you can upgrade and get better gear. Now you don't have to worry about selling your old gear and stuff like that. It's just a lot easier of a process with no hassle as well. So to kind of get into our website as a whole, the first thing you see up here is the contact us button. This is a big part for us because you push this button, takes you right to our email, fills it in for you. You can email us questions, comments, concerns, fitting times, anything under the sun you could think of. You want to email us, we could do that. So going over here, bring that up. Going over here, going down, we have our mission statement. We have our kind of goals here, which is making hockey accessible in Phoenix by offering convenient online gear rental. Now, the fittings are in person, as is the different price. And you'll see that in here in a second with the youth gear fitting variable price. Now, the reason we have it variable price is because, like I said earlier, hockey gear can get a little weird in terms of pricing. And when we did our surveys, we talked to a couple of people that said, hey, I'm not on a fixed income each month. I don't know how much I can pay for this gear. For example, if a child was to choose between a stick made by the manufacturer Easton or one made by the manufacturer Bauer, those have two completely different price points, right? So you can kind of mix and match gears and brands from there, different pricing as well. So that's why whenever you get in for the youth gear fitting, that the fitting itself is free. The gear can get different in terms of pricing. So me and Jonah go, well, let's try to make something at least a little bit uniform. That way people know a little bit about how much they can come in and expect to pay. So that's where we came up with our starter kits. Our starter kits, as you can see here, the youth hockey gear rental package, that has no price listed on it because that's a variable price. But our youth hockey starter kit starts at $65.99, and our beginner hockey starter kit starts at $69.99. And these are different because the beginner is more for adults, whereas the youth is obviously more for children. So let's just say you're a parent and you want to get into the youth starter kit. So you click on the logo of the helmet, and we already have some previous ones in the cart. So let's go ahead and take those out real quick. Okay. So let's say you have two kids and you want to get two youth hockey starter kits going. This is basically just your essential gear, right? So it's going to be very uniform apparel, uniform gear. It's going to be safe, effective. It's going to get the job done, but it's not going to be anything special. It's just a starter kit for your kid to play hockey for 2 months and go, hey, I like it, or maybe I don't, and then you're not out all the money. So let's add this to the cart. As you can see here, we have our subtotal, view cart. And then as you can see here, we have a fitting request that pops in, right? So a fitting request, April 21st. Let's say that's not going to work for me. Let's go April 19th at 5 p.m. Perfect. So that'll go right to me and Jonah's email as soon as this checkout is complete. So we can do Google Pay for secure access. You fill in your information right here, and then you would save your changes and submit. So there goes your order right there. So let's go back home. So scrolling down more, we have kind of our story right here. We have our contact info, our email, and then we have our newsletter as well, right? For discounts, promotions, stuff like that. And as we work towards setting up some sort of gear donation service where people would donate their used gear to us, we refurbish it and put that back out onto the market, which helps us keep costs low, which helps more kids get into hockey. We would set up our newsletter for stuff like that as well. So moving over to our booking online, obviously we have our youth gear fitting. That's the one you would book online just to get fit. And then our plans and pricing. Obviously, there's no plans available except for our starter kit. because of the variable pricing with each terms of gear. And then we have just our regular shop here. Um, and then here's our donation link as well, and our beginner gear rental package, which is just like the youth gear rental package where the price is going to vary on that. And then finally, we have our blog. So this is just different articles about gear rental, our mission, etc. So all in all, One Stop Hockey's whole main goal is to break down barriers to entry monetary wise towards the game of hockey and grow the game in the Phoenix area. Thanks. All right, now that we've just gone over the website, we now need to go over the financials. So we determined our startup cost is going to be a little bit over 200,000, 221,345 just to be exact. Taking this number, we determined that our break even point is going to be about 5 months post conception of our business, and our revenue increase year 2 and 3 is going to be 151,880. As for our target market population, we're focusing primarily in the Phoenix metro area, which has a population of 1.321 million, as you can see here. Out of that, we have 196,000 that are 10 to 18 years old. And then out of that demographic, we have 831 youth hockey players, which we were able to determine a number of probably around 124, 125 we can rent to. So that leaves our first year market share at about 15%. We're fighting off other competitors such as Goodwill, Play It Again, and other third-party vendors. However, we plan to market more with the Coyotes, the NHL team in town, and with the Ice Den. So that's going to bring our market share up in year 2 and year 3 to about 20%. And then in year 4, we'll see another 5% increase to put it at 25. Here's a graph supporting that. So you can see here 2024, 15%, 2025, 20, stagnant 26, and then 27 will go up. So here's our pricing strategies. We're going to do our starter kits as we're listed in the website for around $70. It's going to be the average cost. And then with advertising with the Coyotes and pop-up stands with the Ice Den, we determined our year 1 acquisition cost for a customer is going to be about $2,300 per customer. Now, as we get more people doing our subscription service and that word of mouth starts to go around, we're going to scale back a little bit and go down to around 1985 in terms of customer acquisition cost per customer. Now, our break-even point is going to have to be 100 sets rented per week per year at 70, which was our price point we determined in the video. Now, scrolling down to our non-operational expenses, we have to acquire 124 sets of gear after year 1. An average cost of gear is $150. Times that by the amount of rentals we plan to send out, 124. That puts us at 18.6 just to get off the ground. Each set of gear lasts 2 years, which cuts our cost down to $9,300 yearly. We don't have to be doing this every year. And then our first year charitable expenses to USA Hockey and other local programs is going to put us around 5%, which is going to cost us just north of $22,000. As you can see here, we have our cash on hand. It's going to slowly go down, right? Paying for cleaning equipment, releasing space, employees, gear, etc. And then once we get around the turning point here, we're going to start seeing an upwards trend of our cash on hand. So in conclusion, besides our initial startup costs, we're not going to need another cash infusion. That's the great news. We're going to become profitable by the end of month 5, according to our calculation. And we'll be generating over 200,000 in after-tax profit in our first year. And that'll help us overtake 10% of our market share in our second and fourth years. The after-tax profit in our second and third year is going to be 373,000. And in our fourth year, we're going to take a big leap and go all the way to 5. So as you can see here, we have our revenues, our best case, year 1, 451. And then we have our cost of goods rented. There goes that 18 number we talked about earlier, plus our 5% charitable deduction. That's going to leave us with 410. We're going to increase that through our formulas all the way through. We're going to increase the 5% in market share, stagnant year 3, like we had in the graph earlier up here. But then we're going to have another 5% increase in year 4, which brings us to 712 profit before operating costs. Then our operating costs are going to get us right here with salaries, wages, advertisings, internet, equipment maintenance, etc. And that's going to give us 324,485. 485 are going to stay stagnant in year 3. And then year 4, like I said, we're poised for that big growth at 6.3. And then obviously we have to pay Uncle Sam, pay the government. So that's where we had the 9 number coming from, the 13, the 13, and the 17, leading to our true net income of 315,622 year one, 471,716 in year 2 and 3, and then that other 5% jump, putting us at a grand total of 617,749,000 after year 4, showing that we are going to be extremely profitable. And the more we grow, the more profit and market share we're going to gain. Thanks.